Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall says 9:43 on Sunday night after a very wet day in the west of Ireland. She let her down in style today. The going could be heavy in Linnaban tomorrow, I would imagine. Um, I didn't get a video up this morning as I had planned. I was home too late last night for starters after a long day driving. Last video was Saturday morning. I was in the Asheville B&B on the Rock Road there in Killarney. Great place to stay. Breakfast was absolutely superb. The pancakes freshly cooked and all the the fruit that was with it, and the best pot of tea I got all week. It's an owner-living driven place. He actually, the first time I stayed in it, he thought it was Billy Keane. He says, "You look like Billy Keane." I says, "No, Billy Keane looks like me." Joking with him. He's a good sense of humour. So have I. Um, so we headed out of Dodge yesterday morning, and they had been having Irish whiskies all week, so I told them we'd go to the distillery in Middleton, and they got an Irish whiskey, and they thought it's a great spot altogether. And then on their itinerary only yesterday was the Rock of Cashel, so I had suggested Middleton, Kilkenny and Dublin, or I wanted to go Dungarvan. So they were in agreement with that in the morning and the night before. So on to Kilkenny, but coming out of Kilkenny, or out of Middleton, it was mentioned, will we get to the Rock of Cashel after Kilkenny? And I threw a spanner in the works for me, because I says, no, it's on the way. And so well, it's on our itinerary. But I was going to say, well, the two things I'm bringing to you weren't on your itinerary. So there were a crew I didn't sort of trust for fear they might be complaining afterwards. So I says, yes, let's go to the Rock of Cashel. Because I knew it would throw the day longer into what we had planned. Went to the Rock of Cashel, and I had to go off. The air was leaving the tyre and the front wheel again. Got it pumped with the help of a man. I couldn't manage the machine at all, this gadget on the wall. I wouldn't call it a machine. Every one of them is different. They'll take the money, but there's no definite way of using them. This one, you had to clip on the hose to the tyre and press a green button after you picked out your what the amount of air put in. So that wasn't the same as the other ones, even though it looked like them. So with the help of a fella got that done. Well, it went down again later in the day. So after leaving the Rock of Cashel, headed to Kilkenny. They wanted to do a tour of it. I says, fine. Do a tour of it. It's only taken 45 minutes. And then, as they were departing, says, we had walked from St. Mary's Cathedral down to the castle. Will you meet us here? I said, I will. So, got there just at the time that they were coming out, and headed for Dublin. Traffic was brutal after the Quays, going along to O'Connell Bridge and on to Beresford Place. It took me 45 minutes from once I got to the Halfpenny Bridge to get to the hotel, maybe a bit longer even. They were staying at the Grand Canal Dock. So came out the road then, and I wanted to get diesel at the Circle K in Chapel Izzard, and I said I might put a bit of air in the tyre as well because it's down to 270, but that seems to be where its bottom level was, so the air only went out as far, it didn't go any lower than that at any point. So I seen a woman in difficulty at the gadget machine, went over to help her, put the air into it as best I could. We got to £36 what she wanted, but as I got up of my hunkers, I lost my balance and I fell backwards on my hole. I wouldn't mind falling on my hole any time, but the momentum continued back and I hit the small of my back just above my belt against a curb that was behind, and I bursted me air above my elbow as well. There was a lot of blood on my shirt and there's a big swelling on it today, and I laid back last night, missed the rugby match as well. I'd listened to Michael Corcoran on the radio, great commentator I have to say. You swear I was there and he was there with me, or I was with him. He was brilliant. But that because I had to drop off the vehicle, and then it's an hour and a quarter for me home. So I missed that, and I went to bed last night at 11, and I was unable to get up this morning too handy, so that's why I had no video this morning. I was going to tip up Jesse Evans but the rain came against him. I think on good to yield and ground today, he might have won that race. But I was crippled this morning. I didn't get up until nearly 2 o'clock, and I went for a couple of pints there this evening. I got a lift. We had 3 pints in Strokestown, and I'm not right yet, or won't be right, but the first thing I thought of when I fell on the ground was my effect for the weekend, because I got a belt there about 3-4 years ago playing football, and 10 days later I was worse than I was for the first 2 or 3. They're saying it's like whiplash, so I hope I'll be able to travel if I have to go on crutches. But anyway, I was the good Samaritan, and that's what happened. But anyway, what can we do? Every day this week something of note happened. So today was the first day that nothing dangerous happened. Anyway, the only one, Bugs Morton was one that had a good bet on yesterday, and I don't want to talk about it. I thought he was the best horse, and I thought where he was left halfway through the race was no place to be. He had a good turn of foot in each day, so why was he at the back of the pack? And there was 2 bus horses that won the 2 big races yesterday, Wob, 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 and significantly. And he only chose the 2 of them. That's it. He's probably going to say, yeah, it's easy to say that now, but I swear to God, they were the top of the list first, and I went with what I thought was better horses. But anyway, whatever, well, not what Harem, but what can we do? I have a couple for tomorrow. There's the first one there I just want to mention. I mentioned that Park of Kings with the gamble on the last couple of times. He opened at 5s this evening. Is into 7-2. The must know that he's well handicapped. And if you're looking at his form, he only ran one good decent race, was the bumper first time out, 3rd to Dr. Bravo. And he was bought by the man in the yellow and green colours. Handbrake on then every time, so the know he's well handicapped at 97. So what's going to be the story tomorrow? The last 2 excuses when he was pulled out was ground, and the ground had turned to good and to yielding, so it's yielding to soft. It'll be soft ground, soft to heavy in Roscommon tomorrow, so we'll see what's going to be the story with that. So the horse run tomorrow, the 4:10 at Down Royal. I said the last day it'd be a horse would be on the next night, and that would be Cavallo Pazzo. It used to run for Owen Doyle, and 3 runs for Joseph O'Brien. Won a maiden on heavy ground in Naas, so it likes the heavy ground. The step up and trip, I don't think it'll be a problem. Universally, we were on the last day. And as we look at this now, Queenie St. Clair that's favourite now. This got into trouble running that day. Oh, no, Cavallo is gone. But anyway, we'll have a look at this. But watch the one in the yellow cap. It's going to be weaving its way through the left-hand side. And Cavallo Pazzo, the big strong horse, will be more to the right. And Universally, that done the bizzo for us, will come through and win. Oh, we have to go back a bit, haven't we? Here we go. That's
to the far side, with on the near side step back in time. Mowgli's between them, trying to stay on through them. Queenie St. Clair, and now Universally has come through to have a big share of the lead. And on the near side, Cavallo Pazzo has got into full stride. And over on the far side, Universally with step back in time, and Cavallo Pazzo. Universally is going to take it from Cavallo Pazzo, tight between Queenie St. Clair and step.
Good ride from Chris Hayes. I think it's a 2-horse race in that tomorrow. I'm hoping that we're on the right one, and a reverse forecast with Queenie St. Clair. Colin Keane against Dylan Brown McMonigal. The 2 of them are top weighted there, and they're both drawn beside each other, 5 and 6. So I wouldn't be afraid of any of the rest of them, to be honest, in the pack. Queenie St. Clair does get a £4 weight for age allowance. It's raised £1 higher and it's £2 less. That's only £3, isn't it? My maths are wrong. But we're on the 1 and a reverse forecast with the 2. There's Harsheen tomorrow that we might take a chance on. First time in a handicap chase. It's a horse that I tipped up Notnowlinda. Bred in Galway, this horse. I won't say anything about them tonight. They're lovely people. But I had won a maiden hurl in Warwick. I tipped it up that time on the 21st of February. Ran terrible. Then it came back at 28-1 and it was third the next time. Ran a decent race then off 110 in Perth. What do you call him? Harry Skelton. Dan Skelton. He's in the last 14 days, he's 5 for 10, batting 50%, and Harry batting 50%, 4 out of 8. This is the time of the year. I hope that he's sort of revved up tomorrow, or she, I should say. Are you wise to that? Decent horse as well. This is first time over jumps, over fences as well. Had good enough for him earlier in his career when it won its over course as well. It won over that Attica, the decent horse. Just when Skelton gets in form this time of the year, the show could go out in front and jump all. It opened up at 5-1 this evening. There is money for it into 7-200 to 30. Small bet on that. And there's one at Hamilton that I was saying it's a very bad race. This might have a chance as well as Woobay. Philip Macon. Philip has been not pulling up 3 strums lately, but this is a bad race. It's a class 6. If it doesn't win tomorrow, it won't win. It's there's been Curtis tomorrow, but it's lightly raced enough. But on its second at Ayr there and second at Haydock. Needed a step up and trip, I thought, and when I did get the step up and trip, that's it there, finishing 5th, but I got a bit squeezed for room, and I think they were a few better horses in it than this race. That's it with the noseman, 3 from the left. But if you go back here, he was caught for room.
Trying to get on terms. They've got a furlong and a half left to go, and it is Jill Rose, followed by Salit, and now the grey head of Isle of Dreams. That mare is in the clear, heading down towards the final furlong, and into it, it's Jill Rose from Salit, Isle of Dreams, Woobay coming with a run. Destined is it down the centre of the course, also flashing home. Many chances, Jill Rose, Salit, here comes Destined, and Isle of Dreams very close. Isle of Dreams, Destined, Salit, and Jill Rose.
Just dropped a couple of pound for that. Where are we here? 62. It's not a great race. It's only a 4-year-old. Might be worth a bet tomorrow as well. So I've nothing picked out for Roscommon yet. If I do pick out something in the morning, I'll put it up. I'm going to have a shot at it now. It's nearly 10 o'clock now. I'm going to have a shot at it for 10:30 and see. Or until 10:30 and see. So that'll be it. Bash the bookies, over and out.